Hey, welcome to Half the Battle.
I'm still on vacation.
So, in lieu of a proper review, please enjoy my top 6 best G.I. Joe episodes of all time.
Now, before I start, I should mention these episodes are picked from the classic series by Sunbow and Deke, so there's no Resolute, Renegades, or Sigma 6 here. Also, I'm only including one miniseries on the list.
With that said, let's get started.
Number 6. I Found You, Evie. And yes, you're really seeing this.
It's a Deke episode on a list of best G.I. Joe cartoons.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together.
Yeah, I'm as surprised as you are.
The story centers around Ambush and his past relationship with a girl that now happens to work for Cobra. It's a surprisingly well done character piece, and I regret that I hadn't seen this episode when I did my Ambush review. And needless to say, I'll correct that mistake when I end up reviewing this episode. Number 5. The Viper is Coming. This was an atypical episode of the series, as it doesn't have an evil Cobra plot the Joes have to stop. Instead, G.I. Joe goes on the offensive for once and takes out various Cobra operations, all thanks to tips they receive from the mysterious Viper. It has a great twist at the end and is an overall very enjoyable story. I won't spoil that twist here, as I've already done that when I reviewed this cartoon, so you can either track down that video and watch it, or better yet, track down the cartoon episode and watch that. You won't be disappointed. Number 4. Skeletons in the Closet.
It's another one I've already reviewed, and I talked about it even more in my Baroness review.
While not perfect, the guys wearing animal heads are kinda stupid to say the least, what puts this one on the list is how awesome the Baroness is. I'm just gonna show this clip again to explain it.
Ill fortune? It's revenge, you faithless beast. I arranged it all. I led the Joe agent here knowing this would be the result. Why? To make you pay for your unfaithfulness with that which you value most. Your ancestral home.
Number 3. Arise, Serpentor, arise.
This list wouldn't be complete without at least one miniseries on it, and while none of them are bad, this one is my favorite.
This 5-parter is all about the creation of Serpentor. It's a rare thing in these old Saturday morning cartoons when the henchmen of the main bad guy actually realize how much of a screw-up he is and replace him with someone better. It's great to see them acknowledge that Cobra Commander is a buffoon that's hurting Cobra more than helping. That, and Cobra wins. Well, for a short time anyway, as they take over Washington, D.C. Number 2. There's No Place Like Springfield. This is a 2-parter and it focuses on shipwreck. Yeah, shipwreck. So, you'd be forgiven to think that this would be a light-hearted, zany adventure.
Well, nothing could be further from the truth.
Actually, it's a pretty intense mystery that sees Shipwreck being psychologically tortured by Cobra when he's in Springfield. A town that everybody who knows G.I. Joe realizes is far more sinister than it first appears. Of course, if you're not familiar with G.I. Joe, you're just wondering when Homer Simpson is supposed to show up. I'm not gonna get into any more detail about the episode here, as I really want you to hunt it down and see for yourself.
That leaves us with the number 1 spot. And I have to admit, it was basically a coin flip to see if this one or the Springfield one would come out on top.
Number 1. Worlds Without End. You know what my favorite episode from the original Star Trek is? Mirror, Mirror. Kirk and friends find themselves in an alternate universe where everything is opposite, meaning their counterparts are all evil. Worlds Without End is also set in an alternate universe, kinda, And while the premise is similar, it's not the same as the Star Trek one. The Joes in the other reality aren't evil, and Cobra certainly isn't a force for good. No, the main difference in this world is that it's one where Cobra won. And the Joes that crossed over have to find a way to survive in this nightmare world. Just as with There's No Place Like Springfield, this story is quite a bit darker than what we're expecting to see in a G.I. Joe cartoon, what with most of the alternate Joe team being dead, and the Joes actually finding the dead bodies of their own counterparts. This, combined with being infected with a deadly bug, causes one of them, Steeler, to almost go mad. Trust me, you want to see this episode. Though I admit the only reason it beat out Springfield is because I really dig alternate universe stuff.
And that was the list. Now, this is all just my opinion, so feel free to disagree with me in the comments. Well, see you next time, everybody!